Hey guys, it's me, Penis Scribbler, coming at you with a new video. I couldn't wait for the new ultra rares to get spoiled, so I just thought I'd go ahead and make a video now. So first on the menu, Akuma. I've already had the pleasure of playing against this character played by Ryan McClane proxying it, which was even before the rares got spoiled, and he was playing an evil deck with all of the Gyro Man support, and I gotta say, his pool was like 12 face downs or something. And this was before the rares were spoiled, so he didn't have Congo Kokurutsu baby. He could have killed me like 2 times over on a bunch of those turns if this card was in his deck. I mean, he killed me anyway because I was playing a shitty character, which I'm gonna get to that character later in this video. So pretty scared of Akuma, but I mean, I like him. He's a good design. He looks fun to play. And you can still play like, you know, good fair UFS to counter him, and you know, instead of having your whole pool just get clogged and you just die. It's kind of funny that his whole existence was to be a band-aid for a character that is banned now. Like, you didn't have to do that, Jasko. You could have just listened to me all those years ago. But admittedly, if he came out, it would be a fun format even if Liu Kang was still in it. All the best like non-Liu Kang decks are like evil, so there's like a billion really good evil decks that would have played Drained by a Kiss, or as I call it, when you blow your load but she's still sucking, because that's the expression on his face. All those evil decks would have probably, I mean, they would have stomped him if they'd drawn it, but you know, you just don't draw Drained by a Kiss and Liu Kang's just gonna kill you. You know, that's still not a good, it's still not ideal. It's still good that he got banned, like I said. And of course, no one's gonna play him on his Order of Void symbols, because those symbols just don't do much compared to Evil. Evil's the big dog in the house in the game right now. It's okay. Evil's a really fun symbol to play, so I'm not like mad. It's not like old. It's not like life. This life symbol was a year ago, which was dumb as hell. Oh, we're getting to that shitty character right now, Chun-Li. Admittedly, she is better than the other Chun-Li, but I have a way of sizing up how good a card is by basically comparing it to a card that I have a lot of experience. Back in the day when Blood Omen 2 Alice came out, I already knew the moments after I read her that she sucked dick, because she's really similar to a character I had experience with named Shen. And after reading her, she does the same thing. She punishes your opponent for blocking. But not in a million years or in a million different situations would I rather be Alice than be Shen, because of how similar, like, they still do the same thing, punish your opponent for blocking, but Shen just does it way better. And this new Chun-Li is kind of in a similar situation. There is almost no time when I would rather be Chun-Li over Kung Jin. Kung Jin, just put you can easily just put like half of your foundations be no blocks. Just make sure all your attacks have really good blocks, which is easy, and you know, you're probably playing fire, and you're probably also playing punch and Judy, and those are good blocks. So it's probably K just to play half no blocks on your foundations, and there's plenty of good ones. So Kung Jin is pulling 4 speed mostly. Sometimes it's 2 or 3, but mostly it's 4 speed for free off of all of his attacks, while Chun-Li is committing a foundation like a scrub to get 3 speed. But you get it face down at the end. But guess where you're gonna put that face down foundation anyways? You're gonna put it to where it was gonna go originally anyway, which is to your momentum with her other ability, which Kung Jin does too. Like, he can Aether Leg too, just like she can. He can just Aether Leg turn 2 and build a bunch and be cool like Chun-Li, except he gets 4 speed for free all the time. So, you know, maybe if Prototype was going to stay legal, I'd say she's pretty dope, but as it is, she is just a kind of a second-rate Kung Jin. Even her rare attack, which is really good for her, I can see it being even more useful in an Air Kung Jin deck. Maybe her ultra rare will be make her shine, but as it is now, she is probably the only character in this whole new set that doesn't live up to power creep cash grab like I think all the other characters do. and including the 2 box toppers, which no one's seen those, right? No one's, yeah, those are still not spoiled yet. Yeah. No one's seen those all on Discord, so I guess I can't review those, even though hypothetically, if those 2 characters that aren't spoiled yet did if everyone saw them on Discord for some reason, I'd still probably think they sucked. But no one has, so I guess I can't say that. I kind of wanted more from a character where they put 3 symbols that need a lot of help right now on this character. So I think she has the right to be the strongest character in the set just on account of her symbols. At least she got Aether Leg, which I bet is going to see, I mean, if one of these symbols ever does get a lot of action, this is probably going to go inside of those decks, because it is really good. Especially if your name's Kung Jin and you can just get a momentum at will on turn 2 and build for free and get 9 speed for 6 damage for free and have a +1 block, so that sometimes when you mill this you still get 3 speed for free. And then there's Gil. Gil's gonna make a lot of scrubs really sad to play this game. Like, I can see Gil getting banned just because of how sad scrubs will be trying to kill Gil, because he's going to gain 1 billion life and throw attacks that are 1 billion speed and block things because they're going to be 0 speed. But he's going to get bullied a lot too. He is Shinnok's bitch. Shinnok and every deck that has Dust in the Wind in it is going to check this guy all day. But for decks that don't have things like speed resets, they're going to have to kill this guy in one turn through all that speed reduction. So good players will, you know, will probably not care that much. There's going to be at least 5 people who utter their words, this guy's so broken. But it's probably okay. If he ever does win, it's just because he dodged the Shinnok and Dust in the Wind matchups all day. Yeah, he's probably okay. He's just really good. And his symbols on him, especially all in order, kind of need a lot of help right now. And this character is really good. It's going to probably bring me back to those 2 symbols that I missed for so long, because I switched to Evil and Death in the last 1 or 2 years of UFS. Oh, and then the Jeddah. Jeddah is another character that's gonna make scrubs hate the game, but you know, he's not too good. Even though he can like screw up your stage all day. I mean, he doesn't have hardly any offensive potential with any of his abilities. He doesn't pump any damage. Like, there's 2 ways to build him. You can play the stage destruction game and try to keep your opponent on 0 momentum all day as much as possible, so you can use that once per turn every turn. Or you can just try to give your opponent as much momentum as possible, and in that deck you'll probably also be playing Distraction Destruction, and it's going to be the first time that card has gotten touched in a long time. Personally, I think the keep your opponent on 0 momentum as much as possible is going to be the most viable, because I mean, if you're not gonna use your once per turn every turn, why do you even bother being Jeddah? Yeah, the other way is pretty much just to win with the Distraction Destruction, win the game E. Probably not as competitively viable as just playing water, playing reactive style and space land to keep your opponent dry, keeping them on 0 momentum and negging them a foundation every turn and being a 7-hander. It's probably how I'd go about that. It's really hard to say though how that works in practice. It seems pretty good though. It seems balanced but pretty good, unless he's like bullying a 5-hander, and like he's gonna bully Goro into oblivion. He's got one foundation that stands out a lot, and that's Far Worse Places Than Hell. Because it's a spam foundation that's pretty much a guaranteed draw 1. Very similar to Answers to No One, which has terrible numbers on it. And this card's really similar, but it actually is a spam with a 5 check, so that's good. Jeddah doesn't do any damage. This card will help. And the next character is Ken. Violent Ken. But his name is just Ken though, even though he's violent. We know he's violent. We know he's mad jelly. He reminds me a lot of a legacy character, just because of how much potential he has to draw. Just like the OG Ken. But we don't have a Float Like a Butterfly, so I don't know how good he's gonna, even if he could draw 1 billion cards a turn, I don't know if that's all that good. He has to build a lot first before he can go off. He's going to be playing a slow game where he tries to draw 2 cards on turn 2 as much as possible, so he can build a nice board and have a bunch of defense, because he's going to need to build an impressive board before he starts killing people. But once he plays the stay alive game long enough, he is never going to have any trouble playing every attack in his deck as long as he can pass the checks. Too bad Splam isn't around. If he's playing all or void, he's going to have to find damage somehow. On fire, he obviously got improved design to do 1 billion damage, but on all and void, he like his attacks do have good numbers and even pump themselves up to probably not even need extra damage. It's going to be a hard trick though to balance not dying, needing to build a large board, and then needing to kill your opponent in probably 1 turn though. And you better do it like consistent, because you're gonna like mill if you miss probably. And we're gonna get a new Lilith too. The exciting thing I think about Lilith is this might be like the one good chaos deck. Like we've had some chaos decks be success because they use sand grenade as a crutch, even though it's like not that great of a crutch, just because like you can't like beat good players with sand grenade and stuff. I mean I guess you can, but not consistently. So this character has a lot of synergy with a lot of chaos cards right now. Synergy with 2 chaos foundations that essentially don't count towards progressive, and one of them even screws up your opponent's blocking. Clear Cutter and Over the Top, which both conveniently go into your pool. And she's also getting one that also doesn't count, Fusion Refusal. So you can basically have 12 cards in your deck that you want in your pool. So I imagine this chaos list would probably also play Sense of Adventure unironically, since there's 12 cards in your deck that you want to hit with this, just to give all your attacks +1/+1 pretty much. If you can check 5 a billion times, she gets to play all my other favorite chaos cards too, like Skull Barrier, Hyperbomb. Wait, no. What other good chaos? I can't think of any. That's it. She can play Skull Barrier, and that's it. Oh, but look at this. She gets a sweet ass a rare attack that has been spoiled. Draw 2 if your character is sealed or committed. Not really ideal to pull that off with this character if you're not killing your opponent, since you want your character to be ready for your opponent's turn, because that ability is just sick. That R commit 1 foundation ability, sick. It's sick. But this other draw 2 ability is sick too, so you kind of got to choose one. But you can be cool and have water and seal your own character with Resurrected Revenant, and then you'll still have Lilith ready for your opponent's turn. It'll be just like you were playing Coffee Samba and didn't have to jump through a bunch of hoops, but you did to draw 2 cards with your attack. But that foundation, Fusion Refusal, does excite me in particular because it synergizes with Cassie. So Cassie is pretty much exclusively played on all, because all gets both Season Guide and Sense of Morals, which is a good amount to have so that when you Cassie E, you're not screwing up your progressive. But you only get Sense of Morals on Earth and Good as your foundation for being your go-to to clog your own pool so you can use your character. But now, off Earth, she gets Refusal. So Earth Cassie can be much more viable than it was before. Even though you don't get Not Over Yet, which is apparently how all the kids kill with this these days, Cassie still likes to play a long game, and she gets Surveyor off Earth. So there's going to be a lot of potential in that Earth Cassie on account of this card. They should probably make one for Good too. That'd be, Good kind of sucks balls. You should have done that too, Would have been a good idea, Jasco. But it's okay. If anyone's going to play the Good symbol, it's going to be Takeda anyways, so whatever. New Lord Raptor. Doesn't have any synergy with OG Raptor. A little disappointing. he gets a full package of whittling down your opponent's stage while also having a bunch of breaker. So even when it's turn 5 and breaker 2 isn't that good anymore, your opponent's stage is going to be about 2/3 about what it would have been. But it's probably not going to go to turn 5 because you're probably just going to kill them. With all your flash attacks that'll do 5+ damage, your first one's going to be +2 speed because of Thrilled to Eat You, which you should be playing 4 of probably. And you're probably not going to whiff that often because of Sweet Chainsaw Music. And you have Healed by a Shaman, so you can, you don't even have to draw them. You just have to have a bunch of those out. Pretty funny how this character is a giant dump in the mouth of Reptile. He can't negate the damage of Lord Raptor's attacks. Can't make Lord Raptor discard. Well, if he does, he has Healed by a Shaman to just draw whatever mid block he wants every single turn forever on a stick and get breaker 2'd. There's been 2 flash characters, but neither one has risen to any kind of prominence. So this character is pretty tight because it can play both of those characters support. Probably even give Satoshi a run for his money for being a dope air guy. The really good ability on Healed by a Shaman doesn't have the death restriction, so Satoshi can still do that. And Satoshi is going to get all of Lord Raptor's support. So I think both of these characters are going to be the best that Air has to offer. I mean, Satoshi's still the best that Air has to offer right now, but Air is actually gonna be one of the top symbols now between him and Lord Raptor though when this set drops. Last character, Morgan. We've seen so many good evil characters in the past year that it's really hard to impress me with a character with the evil symbol on it now. Like Scorpion did, because Scorpion's hella tight, and they didn't like jack him up by saying like E-commit for the 6 damage or something dumb like that. Thank you for making Scorpion hella good. Don't ever change him. Don't let all the baddies say that he's too good. But it makes characters like Morgan. She's definitely not going to be better than Vega. She is pretty cool because you can play a Desperation Evil deck, Shell, and she burns herself every single turn, probably. So she can get to the desperation stage of the game pretty efficiently with herself. That's probably her biggest asset. Scorpion has to attack pretty much to go down to desperation, but Morgan can do it over time and fairly safely. And if Scorpion does go down to desperation and he gets banged on his kill turn, he's probably dead. But with Morgan, it's a lot safer. So she's not full on power creep cash grab, probably middle of the road, just good enough that she can be like in the same bin as Melina, like being pretty good but just not power creep cash grab good. I think her foundation support is much more impressive. Early Awakening, probably gonna see it get played a lot in good decks that like good Jet might be a thing because of this card. Because he mills, he mills his whole deck, and then he can just remove this to build 3, and have +9 speed across all of them. That's pretty good. Or like Dave's Sniper Joe is gonna play this card because it plays a really long game, and this will definitely close the game out. Or if you're playing a slow life deck, which you might be doing that now with someone like Jeddah or Dimitri. This card will also close the game out after you make the game go really long. It's pretty good. And then Confronting Jeddah, it's like Legacy good. It's like if this card was like not unique, then you'd play 4 of it in pretty much any Legacy deck with those symbols on it. Just play Early Awakening, Confronting Jeddah, and a bunch of action hate, and the whole rest of the deck is like all defense. And just one turn kill kids a lot all day. Visions of Jeddah's plan is pretty interesting. On the one hand, you can check good and then make sure your next check is good. Or on the other, you can like check a coffee or something as Scorpion and put that coffee on top and draw it with the coffee that you just played. Since, you know, Scorpion really likes coffee, and your deck's probably pretty bad if it doesn't have any coffees in it.